another episode of Healthy Mind, Healthy Life, the podcast where we dive deep into what it really takes to live well, love fully, and lead a life of impact. I'm your host, Avik, and today I want to lean in because you are about to hear from someone who is young in years but limitless in wisdom. Yeah. Our guest today is Lawrence Harris. So, welcome to the show, Lawrence.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Amazing, amazing. So, Lawrence, like before we start, I'll quickly love to introduce you to all the listeners. Dear listeners, Lawrence, he's not just a motivational speaker, he's also a force of nature. So, at only 19 years old, he's already spent half a decade of stage on stages, speaking truth, courage, and purpose into the lives of young leaders across the country. But what makes him truly unforgettable is he doesn't just talk about the resilience, but he lives it. So from surviving the trauma of being kicked out at 13, battling CPTSD, and navigating life's harshest realities, Lawrence turned his pain into purpose. And now he's mentoring others, launching digital products, and creating a movement of empowered youth and authentic self love. So, dear listeners, this conversation is for anyone who's ever felt broken, overlooked, or unsure of their worth. So, let's unpack the resilience not as a buzzword, but as a lifestyle. So, welcome to the show again.
Thank you. That is a wonderful introduction.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So Lawrence, you have been through so much by the age of 19. So what does resilience actually mean to you when we strip away the cliches?
I would say that to me, resilience is your ability to get back up even when you don't want to.
Hmm.
Because think about being in a boxing match or a fight and you're on the ground and everything's telling you to just give up and just quit and it's not worth it. But resilience
Mm,
is your ability to get back up and keep fighting
mm,
even when you're tired.
mm. Okay, okay, got it. So uh, I mean, what's the one moment in your life when you wanted to give up, but you didn't?
I would say I was 15 years old looking into my bathroom mirror. And at this point in my life, I had already been kicked out of my dad's house,
Mhm,
was trying to protect my siblings,
mhm,
going through high school, and then there was the COVID pandemic, and everything was just slapping me back and forth. When I thought it couldn't get any worse, it did.
mhm.
And I asked myself, why? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like giving up? Why do I
Mm,
feel like nobody cares about me? Why do I feel all these terrible emotions? And I just wanted to quit. I wanted to give up on myself.
mm,
I wanted to just throw in the towel and say, it's not even worth trying. But then I asked myself, do I want to be a quitter?
mm,
Because there's nothing wrong with failing. There's nothing wrong with things not going your way and things not working out. But the problem is when we completely give up. All we have
mhm,
to do is just take one more step forward. When we're tired, when we're stressed, when it feels like nothing's going right, just put one leg in front of the other.
mm,
And when I thought to myself in that moment how even at just 15,
mm,
I have so much more life ahead of me.
mm.
And if I quit, if I give up, if I stop trying,
Yep.
I'll never find out what's next for me. So I want to say to the listeners that if you have a goal or something that you want to work towards,
Mm,
just take one more step. It could be one more job application.
Mm.
It could be one more hour studying for that math test or one more step in the process whenever you want to give up. Just take one more step.
Exactly. That's a very great way of saying, yeah. And it actually hit hard because sometimes resilient isn't about winning, but all about choosing to breathe when everything tells you not to. So that's amazing.
Yes.
And
Um,
you speak a lot about the self love also. But for someone who's dealt with the rejection and the trauma, self love can feel fake or uh, even impossible. So how did you begin to build it in yourself?
well, when I first began it, like you just mentioned, it can feel fake and
Mm.
like you're forcing it at first,
Yeah.
but you have to just begin to find things about yourself that you enjoy. It could be as small and simple as I am good at handling my time.
Mm.
I show up to places on time. I'm smart. I passed a test. You have to find these small things and then find evidence to build on top of it.
Mm.
And taking very small actions towards building self love, such as brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
It can feel really hard for somebody to get out of bed and then walk to the bathroom and grab the toothbrush and get the toothpaste and turn on the water and brush their teeth. It can feel really hard for people to do that. And it used to be really hard for me to do that. But when you do each little step, it's it's like putting the bricks that are going to build up the house of your self-love. And then removing people, places, and things that tell you you're not worthy.
Yeah.
For me, I had a lot of family members who would say negative things about me. They would say, "You're not good enough. No one's going to come help you. No one believes in you." I had to remove those people from my life because they were feeding me so much negativity. If you're listening to really negative music that is telling you that you're not good enough, if you're watching TV and shows that are saying that nobody's going to love you,
Mhm.
you have to change that.
Yep.
You have to change the things that are no longer helping you
Mm.
and replace them with things that do help you. It could be motivational videos.
Mm.
It could be going outside, having a hobby, clean your room. Because if you live in a dirty room, it's going to lead you to having a dirty mind. And you have a dirty mind, you're going to have a dirty life. So start simple. Keep your bed clean.
Mm.
Keep your teeth brushed. Do the simple things, and then you'll build up enough self love to go and do the bigger things. And then over time, it just grows and grows more.
Mm.
But you have to plant the seed and water the seed before you can get the tree.
Exactly. Wow. Lovely. So like I really respect like how you reframed self-love as a discipline, not just a kind of affirmation. That's such a game changer, especially for the young people struggling with identity. So thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Uh,
and also if I have to talk about the transformation, what helped you turn your pain into purpose? Like, was it one moment or a person, a mindset shift? What?
Well, there were a lot of things that played into it.
Hmm.
Once I began surrounding myself with people who
Hmm.
inspired me, people who said that they cared about me, that helped me to realize more that I'm worth caring about. And as I started to make progress with myself through things such as journaling and writing out how I felt and talking to people and opening up, it helped me realize that there are people who went through things that I went through and they feel like they have nobody. So I started to make videos online to try and inspire people and just let them know that they're not the only one with problems.
Yeah.
And from there, it helped me to understand myself more. And
Mhm.
by doing that, I've been
Mm.
able to inspire other people. And they've messaged me things like, I really relate to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for this content. Thanks for this message you gave me.
Mm.
And over time, you start to understand that you do have a purpose and you do have value in this world,
Exactly.
even when social media and television and music and all these things are telling you that if you're not making $1 million every month,
Mhm.
nobody loves you. Even with messages like that out there, you do have a purpose and value in this world. And you don't have to go become a motivational speaker or
True.
a business owner. You might become a lawyer or a doctor or a
Mm.
teacher or an artist.
Yeah.
Find what makes you feel passionate and figure out how you can give a service and value back to the world, because
Mhm.
when you show other people that they matter,
Mhm.
they'll reflect back to you that you matter, and it helps everyone in the long run. If you just firstly put
Mhm.
something out into the world that is valuable.
Exactly. Wow. So like understood. Like uh, when we are okay. So like just wanted to understand uh like as you were mentioning about this thing, um I have one more thing is like uh, many adults, right? Okay, I'll come this one later, but like when you are still healing and you are also helping others, how do you protect your own peace? What do you have to say?
Well, that could be really hard for some people,
Mhm.
because if you have to live with a person who's hurting you, which was how it was for me, if
Mm.
you have to live with the person who's hurting you
Mhm.
and you're not able to go into a shelter or things like that, the first thing I would recommend you do
Mhm.
is start inside of your mind. Like, it can feel really fake at first, but what I used to do is I would listen to like motivational soundtracks and self love soundtracks and things like that to fill my head with these kinds of thoughts.
Mm.
And over time, those little thoughts start to build up.
Right.
And also removing the people, such as if it's a friend who is hurting you,
Mm.
you can get new friends. It's
Mhm.
hard to let go, but a lot of times we have to let go
Mm.
before we can move on and heal.
Mm.
It's like drinking poison. If you
Mm.
keep drinking the poison because it's familiar, you're only going to keep hurting yourself. But it's scary to stop doing what you've always been doing.
Mhm.
So, a big part of healing is letting go, figuring out what's not good for you, and doing the thing that is good for you, even when it's different.
Exactly. Got it. So, like, understood. So, I mean, we often confuse um, young with incomplete when in reality, some of the most profound wisdom I have heard came from voices like yours, like raw, real, and ready. So, that's amazing. So, like, on this, definitely, I have to ask. Like, many adults still struggle with the emotional regulation and building confidence. So, as someone who has mentored youth, what do you think today's young people really need that they are not getting from parents, schools, or even social media?
I would say they need somebody to believe in them and encourage them, not in terms of getting money or getting this degree or how it looks to other people, but somebody who encourages them to do what they find meaningful.
Yeah.
Because there is a big emphasis on you have to become a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or play a sport
Hmm.
because it's a cool title. It sounds professional. It sounds
Hmm.
impressive to people. when you can say, I graduated from Harvard.
Mm,
But if you become a doctor, no matter
mm,
how much money you make, no matter how cool it looks to everyone else, if
mm,
your real passion is art or music or business, you're going to become very frustrated.
mm,
And a big thing that parents often need to understand is that their children are their own people.
mm,
They're yes, that's your child, but that's their own person because we're often told
mm,
what we have to be, but more often than not, what we're told we have to be isn't who we are. We're told we have to be this certain job because it looked cool when your parent can say, my son graduated from Harvard,
mm,
even though your son doesn't even like what he does. It's cool when you dress a certain way because
mm,
that's what your community forces upon you and says you must dress this way to be accepted. It's cool when you are what other people want you to be,
mhm,
but if you're not who you want to be,
mm,
you're going to end up hating yourself.
mm,
And that's a struggle that is so incredibly common in young people,
mhm.
but we don't often talk about it because nobody wants to be the weird one or the odd one out. The funny thing, though, is that if you look at any of the most successful people in business, in music, in careers, they're the odd one out. Steve Jobs, he made the iPhone when everybody wanted keyboards on their device. Or Elon Musk, he built
Yeah.
a rocket ship company.
Mm,
Or Jeff Bezos, he created Amazon by selling books out of his mom's garage.
mm,
Or Isaac Newton, he figured out what gravity was when everybody thought he was crazy.
mm,
Or people like Galileo Galilei, who figured out that the sun does not revolve around the earth revolves around the sun, and everybody called him crazy. And then they realized that, oh, he was actually right.
right.
So parents just need to, not just parents, but
Mm,
educators, mentors, sports coaches, anybody who deal with young people, encourage them to be them, even if they seem different than other people.
that's true. Yeah, that's so lovely. Yeah. And yeah, exactly, exactly. And this might sound contradictory, but it's actually not. Like some say that we glorify trauma too much these days, like making it part of our brand rather than healing it. So, how do you make sure that your story empowers rather than defines you?
Make sure that it empowers rather than defines me
Mm,
by showing people the transformation that's happened. Yes, I was abused by my father. Yes, I was
mm,
kicked out as a child. Yes, I was diagnosed with these mental conditions.
mm,
But if you meet me today, unless I told you, you wouldn't know.
mm.
And that's not because I hide it. It's because of how much I've grown. And I show people, here's how I did it. Journaling.
Exactly.
When you have all these thoughts in your head, if you write them out, you will feel better. You'll be able to find a solution.
Mm,
Physical activity, so running, exercise, yoga, weightlifting, it helps to build confidence and resilience because you realize you can do hard things. You build a good habit. It helps you to stay dedicated to something. And you see the physical results when you look in the mirror. You look on the scale and you say, wow, I lost 20 pounds. Or wow, I gained 10 pounds of muscle. And you start to feel better about yourself. Being mindful of who you're around. If you hang around friends and family members and people
mm.
who are weighing you down, it's a lot harder for you to achieve your goals because they're telling you to give up and stop trying. And
So,
even when I let it be known what I've been through, I say that to show if I did it, you can do it too. And it's easier for you to do it because I tell you exactly how to do it.
Hmm. That's a helping
But
hand for sure.
yes, and I do want to mention that what you just pointed out on how we glorify trauma,
Hmm.
especially on social media. I have found a shocking amount of people who self-diagnose themselves with very
Hmm.
serious conditions as a way of looking cool and trying to somehow impress people,
Hmm.
but it actually makes it harder for the people who actually deal with challenges and mental health conditions to get the help they need because people start to assume that, oh, they're just faking it
Hmm.
for likes and views and clicks.
Correct.
But the people who actually need the help don't get it because
Hmm.
the ones who are faking it make it harder for them to open up and express themselves.
Correct. Exactly. I understood. Totally understood. Yep. So, uh, that's really lovely, Lawrence. I mean, I have to say that you are the proof that leadership has no age requirement and healing has no expiration date as well. So, what you have shared today isn't just a kind of message, it's a medicine. So, you have shown us that resilience isn't loud, perfect, or polished. It's a quiet decision to rise again and again. So, thank you so much for sharing this. And for all the listeners, if today's episode stirred something inside you, don't ignore it. Maybe your next step is journaling, reaching out to someone you trust, or just looking in the mirror and saying, yeah, I'm still here. And that matters, right? So, Lawrence, like if someone wants to connect with you, how they can connect?
You can connect with me through my social media pages, Lawrence C. Empowers, my website, lawrencecharris.com. And if you guys are looking into my products, such as my books or my courses, that is on the shop section of my website, lawrencecharris.com.
Amazing, amazing. So, dear listeners, I'll put all the links into the show notes for easy reference. And until next time, keep your mind healthy, your heart honest, and your life aligned. So, this is your host Avik signing off from Healthy Man Healthy Life. See you soon. Thank you so much.